Alright, Stock Market Project Part 2. I have instructions posted under the Stock Market Project. It is not actually due until April, so some of you guys who just look at your calendar and rely on that, you're not going to see this for a while, but you're required to work through it. It won't take forever, but you do need to take some time to make sure you import stocks. Right, first part, the word portion is worth 30 points. You need to do some background research. You need to create a data table and define the following items. If you use the internet to define them, please cite your resources, please. Then part 2, you need to set up your companies. Give me a symbol. All companies have some sort of symbol, the name and their code, and then what their net worth was at the time, or what their worth was at the time that you bought, quote unquote. Give me a little bit of history, why you think, why you picked the company, how long it's been around, when it was publicly traded. So that'll help explain your history situation. So if you pick new companies, not all of them were publicly traded until later. Okay. Part 3, analysis. This is where you're going to analyze the changes in your data. And if you pull up, I have another worksheet, I have another document that gives you an example. So if I pull this up, do I have the other stock market project? This one, yeah. So here's kind of how it should be laid out. Your Word document, here's your definition. Alright, here, you don't have to put the box around it. You can set it up like this. I made up a couple stocks, Chaminade and Gerald Funds. That's my son. I was just being snarky because I didn't want to use companies that actually existed. Then stock analysis. Did you change your mind when you did the history? Why did you change it? If you picked something else, why are some prices higher than others, do you think? And then each week that you gain data, I want you to explain these 3 things. Doesn't have to be in complete sentences, but you have to get your point across. Alright, so then you have to kind of do your end of investment. Did you make money? Did you lose money? So on and so forth. So this is posted under the stock projects in Canvas. If I pull up Canvas, as you see, I'm editing it right now. Hang on. Canvas. When I pull up Canvas for you to see over here, you're going to see it listed under modules as stock prices or stock project. I'll give individual assignments for each thing that you're doing, but here's the stock project here. I'll publish it. So you should be able to see this. It's at the bottom of all the Excel stuff. And then we have a little bit on Google here. Alright. Then here's your stock portion. You should have already done the history here, figured out your gain loss, and I changed this. No, I didn't. That was right the way it was written. Okay, to figure out your losses. If you can, please add it 1 year, or gain and loss from 1 year and gain and loss from 2 years. So is this a long-term investment? Right now we're looking just for the short-term investment because this isn't real money that you're investing. Alright, here's the cool thing. You are going to add these extra components, stock investment, current prices, so on and so forth. So the first thing you need to set up is do your stock investments. Notice it's another tab down here. Okay, fill out all of this across the top just like I have. Fill out your company name, stock. Your purchase date was either either the 18th or the 19th, I believe, was when you recorded these initial prices. Copy the initial price from stock history to here. Alright, once you do that, we're going to set some equations. So number of shares tells me how many of each I'm buying. And this column has told me how much money I'm spending. Alright, so what this column is doing is taking the column E and multiplying it by column D. Alright, so I have 15 shares of Apple at $96.69, and it has calculated it to $1,450.35. Alright, make sure it does set column F and D as currency. You do that by choosing home and choosing the currency option right here. So here's currency. Okay, not only do we want to do that, we want our sum. So we need to sum all of this to see how close we can get to 20 grand. Right now I'm at 18 grand by randomly, so backtrack. I have this and I copied this equation, E2 times D2. Remember, I can grab and drag, use the select handle. It didn't change because none of my numbers changed, but that way it changes all of these to do the math for me. Then I hit the sum. If you really want to see where you have money remaining, I put total investment possible down here and put 20 grand. Money remaining. So I took this number, or C17, minus whatever is in this box, F13. And this tells me how much money I have left. So I need to kind of fudge around with this to see if I can get closer. Notice I got closer. Maybe I want 18 of Facebook. I want maybe 20 of Facebook. Okay, now I have $900 left. What else can I spend? I will go 20 of this. Still $400. So you can kind of see what I'm playing with. I can go to 22. So let's go to 20. That's going to put me in the right. Oh, no, it's not. Alright. I can probably get at least 5 of these. So 25. Now I have about $48 left. Oh, perfect. I can get one more of this stock, 23. I have $4 left. Okay, did you notice this number changed? As I changed these, this number changed because of the calculations I told it to do, and this number changed. This should be showing you in action what's going on. This is how much money I've spent. This is how much money I've left over. It's free money, so I'm spending it all. You don't get any money back anyway, so your goal is to get as close to zero as possible. Alright, then each time we're going to gather data from a different date. So this, my initial date was 2/16 for here. So I'll see if I can copy, paste this all the way down. The copy handle doesn't work quite the same for this one. Okay, share price date. Here is where we're going to go get data. So this data was from the 16th, so I'm going to do today's data to 18/16. Alright, now I can make you do a lot of work, which means going online and finding each one individually, or we can make a new worksheet. I'm going to call this to 18/16. Another glorious thing about Excel, to 18/16. There we go. I'm going to click on A1. I'm going to choose data. Watch this carefully. Existing connections. Excel has a connection with the stock market, with Money Central Investors. Once I click existing connections, click MSN Money Central Investors. Hit open. It's going to ask, where do you want the data? Well, A1 sounds good to me, so I'm going to hit OK. Notice it has the freeze symbols in it, saying we're always going to put the data starting at A1. Okay. Saying, hey, we're getting stuff from an external source, could be dangerous. Hit OK. Okay, here's where those stock symbols come in handy. Copy your stock symbols. You go back to this one, and it says it's taking it from stock history chart, locking in on B2, which is Apple, all the way through B11, which is Under Armour. Hit OK, and wait. Getting data. Voila. Here's the information you need, and you can just copy it over. There are two ways to easily copy this over. I could go back to stock investments and hit equals, and if I go back to the correct date and choose what it equals, hit enter, and it copies it straight in. Or you can copy paste and paste. Alright, if you notice my values over here changed, let's figure out how I did that. Okay, under the value tab, I said, and you're going to have to change this each time you add more data, but in value, I said take whatever today's value, whatever's in G2, and multiply it by my share number. Once I hit enter, so G2 times E2, I hit enter, it gives me my data. Here are all my numbers. If I find the sum of all of this, I have gained $304. Alright, so I've made, if I sold all my stocks right now, I've made $304. Okay, so notice as you get, don't forget to put your date. When did you get that share price date? And now you have to take the time to analyze this. So on 2/18, my prices went up and I gained $304. I do notice that my stock in Ameren went down. Alright, so I lost $12 out of Ameren, but all my other companies gained money. I would report this number because it's going to go away when you get new data. Alright, so those are the core things that you should be taking a look at. So each time you'll do the same thing. You'll add a new date, add a new sheet, import more data. That way you can kind of watch how your stocks change. Okay. That's all I got for you today.